Are you ready to play cheap to steep? Let's go!
Hi, I'm Vance, your host. I am challenging you to guess which of these items costs more. We have selected 4 items from the Museum of Vanning, and it is your job to rank them from cheap. The lowest price to steep, the highest price. Here's how it works. I will give you a description of the 4 items in random order. It is your job to rank them, starting with the least expensive to the most expensive. Grab a friend and challenge together. Here are the items featured in today's cheap to steep. For the first item, we have a vintage 1990s Garfield van-shaped lunchbox made by the Tin Box Company. It is yellow painted metal in the shape of a van with paw prints across the front door. It features a hard plastic handle, metal hinges, and a metal latch. The lunchbox is 6.5 inches tall and is 9 inches in length. John Arbuckle, Garfield's owner, is pictured driving, with Garfield and friends riding in the back seat. Next up, we have a 1981 Kidco Cannonball Run orange and white ambulance with motorized pullback action. It is a 1/64th scale die-cast van made in Hong Kong and sold on a blister card, which features images from the film. Upper left on the card is a brand labeled as Tough Wheels. As in the movie, the van is a 1978 Dodge Tradesman B200. The Kidco version features a white paint scheme with an orange upper stripe with Transcon Medivac lettering. Reflecting the movie's ambulance driven by Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise, this Kidco van is not to be confused with the Ertl die-cast model created in 1981, which is a white Ford van with an orange roof which varies from the actual movie van. Third up, we have a vintage Samsonite silhouette suitcase. Model 1621 in marigold or mustard yellow color from late 1960s to early 1970s. Featuring a hard clamshell textured design with 2 silvertone metal latches, 3 sturdy hinges, and a strong molded top handle, the suitcase measures 21 by 27 inches by 8. Inside there is a polka dot fabric featuring 2 elastic pockets, adjustable straps to hold clothing, and a divider with a clasp to help keep clothing in place during travel. This suitcase was usually purchased in a set to include a large checked bag, a smaller carry-on, a purse-like bag, and a matching train case makeup case. Originally available in red, orange, yellow, blue, and green. And for the final entry, we have a 1978 vintage hippie brass Dodge van belt buckle. The belt buckle is designed by Bergamot Brass Works. The metal mold is labeled U39 and it is made in the USA. As marked on the reverse side, the buckle, which is a plate style known as a statement or trophy buckle, is nearly 4 inches wide with a metal ring and back with a prong to snap the belt in place. The plate designs placed on front of this type of buckle was an extension of an individual's style and personality, commonly used for cowboys, bikers, truckers, and rodeos. This belt buckle screams Vanner and is a must-have for Dodge van enthusiasts. Now, it is your turn to rate these items from cheap to steep. I will let you know that the value of these items are calculated based on the average cost from several online buyer sites at the time of research. For these items, the valuation was determined in the first quarter of 2026. Let's get started. Here is the countdown, or count up in this case. Starting at the cheapest. Number 1 is the Dodge Hippie Van Brass Belt Buckle, coming in at $31.99. Second in line is the vintage Samsonite Silhouette Suitcase. That price is $47. Third in line is the vintage 1990s Garfield van-shaped lunchbox. On average, it is a whopping $65. Mom shouldn't have thrown that one away. That leaves us with the most steep, expensive item for number 4. If you said the 1981 Kidco Cannonball Run orange and white ambulance, you are correct. This little number will set you back by about $90. Here are the reasons this tiny van made it to the top of the steep. First of all, the 1981 movie The Cannonball Run is a cult classic and is valued by collectors due to its rarity. Secondly, the van was not produced by a large company like Hot Wheels. Instead, it was made by Kidco, which was a much smaller manufacturer during that era. The Cannonball Run line, specifically the van, was not produced in massive quantities like the other cars in the film, making them rare and difficult to acquire. Lastly, finding a 45-year-old die-cast car in the original blister pack with an undamaged card is pretty rare, making the Kidco Cannonball Run ambulance steep to the top of the peak. Please keep in mind that the value of these items is strictly based on the average selling price at the time of research. The real value of an item is ultimately what the buyer is willing to pay. Hope you found this video fun and challenging. Subscribe below to keep informed. Watch for more cheap to steep museum items coming up soon. Till then, let us know what vanning history is hiding in your attic.